Welcome back to Stationery Summer. I wanted to dive into a little more of my crazy mind of what Stationery Summer is. Now, Stationery Summer to me is reminiscent of a city guide. Back in the blogging era, they used to do these city guides that pretty much showed you the hot spots to go to in your city. A lot of people travel during the summer and they want places to go. And if you're anything like me, you also want to know where to go buy stationery. Duh. Yes, that's what I wanted this to be. So I'm just trying to get it out. I know, again, a lot of people travel and they want places to go, and this is just my stationery city guide where you can get some good food, good stationery, and a good view of what I see on a daily. So we will not be going to Cohen today, and because they're open on Saturday next week, so hopefully we'll be doing that next week. I say hopefully because I may find another stationery shop that we go to, or we may go to both, or who knows. But Cohen is open on Sunday this week, and I know you guys are not gonna want a video, because if I record on a Sunday, you most likely won't get that video till the next day, which is Monday, and I don't want y'all cussing me out. So yeah, we're just gonna do Cohen next week, where you guys can get your videos as normal. Today I found this place. OMG. I've never been to this place, which is going to be new for both of us. Well, all of us, I should say. It is called Flex Pen to Paper. It is in Westwood, California, and I love stationery shops that are near schools. This location is near, I don't know if they have multiple locations, but this location is near the college USC. I'm sorry, not USC. Oh, it's the Trojan in me. I'm not a Trojan, but I used to work for USC. But Bruins, hello. It is near UCLA. And I'm excited to go because they have Traveler's Notebook stuff. So we'll see if they have the Traveler's Notebook that I need for my project, and we'll go from there. But I'm really excited. I've never been to this location, and I hear they have quite a bit of pens and quite a bit of, everything that we need to have fun. But we'll see. We're going to record. Hopefully they'll let us record. I think they'll let us record because I've seen some other people mention it. So we'll see. But we're going to Flex Pen to Paper, and we're also going to get nourished. Amen. We need to find a coffee shop, which shouldn't be hard in that area, or I may go to somewhere en route to that area, but I'm really excited about that. And also, I need to finish editing this video, which is my TWSBI video, giving you a sneak peek, because I do thank you for stopping by to the vlog first. But yes, my pen did go to Harvard. Ooh, I don't want to laugh too. Okay. If I would have shown you guys all day long when I did the unboxing, and you guys will see it. When I did the unboxing for this pen, just getting the info that each pen is different, there's no two pens that are alike, I was nervous. And see, that's why sometimes it's not needed for me to get information, because the more information I get, the more nervous I get. I was so afraid to open this up because I'm like, what if I get, because some people have been getting really dark pens, but I'll explain more during the video. But she did go to Harvard, boom, and I'll be showing you and telling you more about this pen. We're also going to do a swatch, and transitioning into the swatch, I have some bad news. Although I don't show this planner often, it is my creative planner. But yesterday, when swatching, this happened. And I have been thinking of transitioning my planner for some time now. This size just doesn't work for me anymore. And this really just put the nail in the coffin, baby girl, because if you know cloth and paper, you know that these dashboards are not cheap. And I think I was just dreading having to start over. And just, again, let me just, so, are you guys ready? Let me make sure I'm in frame, honey, because y'all need to see this, okay? So, it's funny now, but I lucky want to cry. But this is just a sign that it's time to go for something smaller. I'm always trying to find space for her. I love her because, you know, the real estate, you have real estate, especially with what I put in here, but this is just a sign that I need to go smaller. And yeah, I was in the midst of putting it on this page with the greens, and blow, it fell right here. So it's fine. Okay, everything happens for a reason. I've been meaning to switch to a mini HP because the mini HP, I just recently got rid of it because it was my plant planner. I now do that digitally. I don't need to have it like a written format of that. So I think I'm going to go back to the mini HP and just have like a swatching book. And I'm also going to get a holder for my inks from now because this was tragic to my spirit. But we move on. When something is meant, when you keep having something in your brain and it's like, oh, I should do it, just do it, because this is RIP to the creative planner for this size. And you probably say, well, what will be the creative planner now? Creative planner will be, we're going to go back to A5. Now you probably say, that's the same, it's not the same size, this is bigger. But we're going to go to A5. I think too, because I'm very careful with her. I think I'll be more careful. And I have the yearly overview in here too. For y'all that know that I keep a yearly overview of my, let me grab it. I keep a yearly overview of my step. Of course I can't pull it right now, but I keep a yearly overview of my numbers, my social numbers, here and here. So this is here also, because this was originally going to be my home planner. And I mean, let's be honest, I really don't do enough renovations in my house to make it make sense. So we're going to do the creative planner in A5, which I still need a big planner. I just don't need something that big. So that's my story. And we're sticking to it. Okay. Let's go get coffee. And let's go get some stationery. To Westwood.
No menu.
Shout out to my girl. for there if you know one that's make you laugh. Find your ways, don't let anybody suffer.
And we're back home, where it is safe and money is staying in our pocket. We had a couple stops. First stop was the coffee shop. It was delightful. Actually, the coffee shop is in Brentwood, but it's right up the street from where Flax Pen to Paper was, which was our second stop. This place does not get talked about enough, but like the person who worked there, I forgot to get his name. He was a lovely Asian man with a ponytail, so really stole my heart. He was very informative. Of course, people that work at stationery shops love stationery just as much as we do. So he was amazing. Gabby was another lovely employee at Flax Pen to Paper. She was very informative too, but what I really like about this shop too, one of the reasons, I really love that they greet you when you get there and they just let you roam. They just, if you have questions, you can ask them, and they have a plethora of information for each of the things that you would ever ask for. So, customer service, 1000% amazing. Now, the gentleman that works there, he said that this shop is actually more catered to pen people. Like, they're more known for their pens. They have very expensive pens, all the way down to TWSBI's, Lami's, like a lot of the other stationery shops. He said, but they're more of a pen shop than they are stationery. And he also said they started carrying Traveler's Notebook, and that is when they saw the boom of people coming in to check it out, because they do have a very healthy section for travelers, which I was super excited because, as you guys know, I want to get a Traveler's Notebook just for California travels that I do, just going from city to city here. So they're also the flagship store for plotter, which I was thinking about getting a plotter as well before the Traveler's Notebook bug hit me. But plotter, like I was telling him, plotter is just, it is for the more minimal person, because it's designed to be a more slim, sleek design, which I love that too, but they're a little pricey. Anyway, it's pricey. You have to pay for each item, which a lot of planner setups, planner systems, you have to pay for, you're customizing it, if you will. So it does cost, but Plotter is definitely for a specific niche. But they are beautiful. They are beautiful planners, and they come in an array of different sizes. It's great. But we weren't there for Plotter. We were there for Travelers. So I was able to grab some items, and I'm really excited. They had, when I tell you, because it is a pen shop, when I tell you they had so much ink, I was in heaven. They had ink of all sorts. It was a stationery playground in there. It was just enough items in there that made you have a good selection of what you were going there for. They had just enough stickers. It wasn't too sticker heavy. It wasn't too pen. Even with the pens that they had in there were very particular type of pens. Like I said, you have a very expensive side of pens, and then you have mid-range, the TWSBIs, the Lamis, the Quebecos, and they even had some lower end pilots in there. They had just, it was amazing in there. So many great options at this shop. I've heard about this shop from Plotter because it is their flagship store for the West Coast, but other than that, I haven't really heard much here. Like I told the guy at the shop, I said, a lot of people talk about Bomb Cohen, which, Bomb Cohen is great because they have you can customize your traveler's notebook. They can help you set up your traveler's notebook. It's a very specific, I don't want to say just traveler's notebook because they offer so many other things there, but Bomb Cohen is a beauty in itself, and you'll see when I go take you guys with me if you haven't already been. But this shop is amazing. This is a must go to if you're here from California and you want to check out a stationery shop. Definitely stop here. This for a lot of people, this will be your one-stop shop, honestly. It is pen heavy, but like I said, it doesn't confuse you from having too much stuff. Now, I like to put in perspective as far as like some shops that can have too much, and I'll put it in the beauty industry category. Like Sephora, I have to know what I want when I go to Sephora because I get overwhelmed. It's just too much stuff in there, from hair to makeup to skin, skincare. You have everything in there. When I go to Sephora, I have to have a list. And for some places, it's just so much stuff because, as you know, with stationery shops, they're usually small spaces, but they jam pack it with so much stuff. Like, you really have to be in there for a while to get a grasp of everything that's in there. It could be a lot depending on the shop, but this shop, like I said, they're very specific about what they're selling, that it was just really good. They even had ink vent full bottles. I screamed. They didn't have my cranberry. I was hoping that they would have cranberry, but I showed the guy my cranberry color from one of my TikToks, and he was like, oh my gosh, that color is amazing. He was so enamored with how the color came out. That cranberry color was amazing, and I don't even know if it came in full bottle, but it was refreshing to see that they had ink vent colors in full bottle at that location. I will definitely be back. This shop is a 10 out of 10. Customer service great. Products over the amount of products that I ever assumed to get. I love that I'm making this city guide because a lot of stationery shops don't market themselves as stationery shops. Like how I go to Kinokuniya. It's marketed as a bookstore. It's not marketed as a stationery shop. And even if you Google it, they don't really dig into photos of stationery. They show you more of photos of the books. Now, some of the stationery. Some of the Kinokuniya people that go in there are really for like comic books, but for the most part they sell books in general, but it has an array of everything. Now this shop is marketed as a pen shop. It's not marketed as like total stationery, so you wouldn't know. So I'm glad I'm making a city guide for the people who just want to cut into the meat and potatoes and just like, where is the stationery? Show me the money, you know? So let me show you what I got. Okay, so I went with the black because I figure I'm going to be toting this thing around and I don't want to have to babysit my traveler's notebook, so I figure I'll just stay basic and go with the black. So we have the black traveler's notebook, and I know I was gonna want to change the strings to most likely green or whatever color. My mother's favorite color is orange, so I'll most likely be giving her the orange, but we'll see. But I like options. I do. Yes. We also got a couple of the notebooks. This one is a dot grid, and this one is lined, because I was figuring with the lined I could just start. I figured with the lined I can start writing out each place that I want to go to for the city guide, so we'll see about that. Okay, before we pull out the next item, I mentioned to the gentleman that I was working on my handwriting, and he mentioned that he too, because he was showing me the different nibs with the TWSBIs, and he started writing and it was just so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, your handwriting. He said, no, my handwriting is horrible. He said, but we had someone in here teaching a course about handwriting, and she was talking about the strokes and making sure that you stay within the lines, making sure your letters are at the same height. He says, so I was using this notebook by, what's her name? Claire Fontaine. Now, because I'm hyper focused on all of my viewers, whether it be socials or YouTube, and when he opened it and showed me the lines, I said, oh, because he was talking about writing this way, learning, practicing his writing. And I said, that's cool, because lefties could turn it this way and write this way. And he was like, oh, I never thought of that. I was like, yeah. I said, it's so hard it's hard for me to talk really fully talk to y'all about fountain pens, because I know I always get a lefty in the comments saying, oh, I wish I could use a fountain pen. It just doesn't work for me. And I just don't understand how it's 2025 and they don't have something in the fountain pen family for lefties. Or maybe they do. Let me know in the comments if you are a lefty and you found something that works. But I love the fact that you can use it this way or this way, because it's really the same. And I know the creator probably, most likely, had that in mind as well. So I bought this because I'm always down for a notebook that is going to help me practice. And then I loved this. What is this marketed as? It's a letterpress bookmark, but I love that. I feel like you could put this in your planner as well. This is the good stopping point. What can you read? This is a good stopping point. As far as journaling, I feel like this would be cute in a planner or journal, or of course it's for a book, but I really love that. I love the font. I like that. So we got that. I did miss out on ordering this online. This is the Coffee Monsters Co. collaboration with Esterbrook. This is the ink. Let me see if I could do it with one hand. And I was like, oh, I didn't even get to see about that collab. So, what time like the present? You know? We're going to do this one hand. Yes. Okay. So let's check out the bottle. I'm sure most of you have seen the bottle already. Oh, how cute! It's frosted. Forgotten iced coffee. How cute is that? Isn't that cute? This bottle is adorable. I love this. We purchased some stickers. Coffee Monsters Co. has some of the cutest stickers, and I purchased some of these. I really love this one. If it weren't upside down, yeah, that's not me. Come on. So I had to get 2 of those, and pen ink, shop local and small, if you can. I clearly can't read today. Shop local and small, if you can. And keep it together, because I clearly cannot most times. Last bit of items. Now, I was really excited because of my spill recently. I've been very adamant on trying to get something that's going to work for me, so we don't have that issue again. So, we got the Ferris wheel press carousel. I believe that's what they call this. It's an ink carriage. Oh. So you pretty much put the ink on the... I'll show you. 1 second. All right. So here is the ink carriage. Here's the ink. Let's move this. And she's sitting pretty. But this is just cute. Although I wanted it, yes. And I still want it. Absolutely. But this, I'm so sorry. This is cute, right? But, and functional, because it stays and it kind of helps to balance from falling. But this is called it's the ink well. And let me show you what this does. Now this is the carousel inkwell. If I could not shake you guys around, that would be great. So this is the carousel inkwell. Now I love this because as the employee at Flax Pen to Paper mentioned, the opening for their inks are fairly small, and trying to re-ink your pen or just trying to do a swatch using a dip pen, getting it into that small, like it may tip over, which this did tip over. I showed you the tragedy. So trying to prevent that, I bought this so I can just pour my ink in here and then where's my dip pen? Use my dip pen to dip from here instead of trying to dip in here. You see how that, yeah, we don't want to reenact that, but yeah. So I feel like this would help me more with swatching versus trying to get it out of there. And you don't have to buy the Ferris wheel press one. They have so many on Amazon that you can purchase. If you do Amazon, I know a lot of people are not doing Amazon, so I get it. Now, did you really think that was the only place we were going to go to today? It is Stationery summer. Come on. We had to go to Michael's. Duh. Now, what did I need to buy in Michael's? Now, that's the question. Now, I'm always being provoked. Let's start there. I'm always being provoked. One of the lovely ladies here on YouTube showed how she's been doing her swatches on this notebook. So, of course, I had to go to Michael's. She said she found hers at Michael's. Of course, mine is kind of dinged up a little bit because we have other items that I need to show you. But we're doing swatches on here. We don't really care about aesthetics just now, but we are focused on pen and ink. What does it look like on the inside? It's just paper. But it's not quite thick like cardstock, but it is thick paper and it's perforated. And that means you can take it out of this notebook or you can keep it in this notebook. But the young lady that I saw it with, she was saying that she was thinking of putting it in a separate notebook, or she was making a suggestion. I'm not quite sure, but she did a great example of some swatches. I will link her video in this video. It was a masterpiece. I loved her video, so I knew I had to go grab it. But that's not all we got. We also purchased, I had a different one of these, but it wasn't quite this one. It was longer, and I know it's for paintbrushes, but I did not want to commit to such a long paintbrush holder. I wanted something I could keep my paintbrushes in to be able to use the swatches for some of the inks. So I'm going to try some different methods to that. So I just got something shorter, and it was cheaper too. So, and I bought some of these merely because I want to work on my droplets with the inks. I don't know. I think this is too big, but they didn't have any smaller ones that I really liked, so we're going to try some droplets with this because I'm flinging ink everywhere and I just know I'm going to make a mess. And as you know, my luck with spillage has been a bit interesting this time, so yeah. And this item, last but not least, is this is really for ink. This is really for watercolors, I believe, or paint. But I love how, of course, just give me a moment. Let me gather myself. So for this, I love this because when I want to do different inks, I can drop with a droplet. I can drop some ink in each of these when I want to do like multiple colors. And I feel like, let's test it out. I feel like my dip pen, I could either do that, but if you want to play it safe, boom, I can put my dip pen there and not worry about it dropping on anything else. But I love that. I thought that was cute, right? Yeah. I think it was like $12 for this. It's $12 for this, and everything else was fairly inexpensive. Everything that I got from Michael's, but that's the damage we did today, guys. It's been interesting, but so much fun. Can we talk about how I saw some cute stationery boys at this stationery shop? Never seen cute stationery boys at a pen shop ever before, but today was a day. But yeah, there's just a little tidbit. You might want to go check it out. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's been a great stationery Saturday. I am so glad that I went to this shop today. This is really helping me to broaden my stationery horizons, because as we see now, a lot of the really good stationery shops are not marketed as stationery shops. Kinokuniya is marketed as a bookstore, and Flax Pen to Paper is marketed as a pen shop. So, moral of the story is, go everywhere. Everywhere there's stationery, make sure you check it out. But anywho, it's been great. I have to spend the rest of my day editing, which is fine, because I try to do everything in the same day, because if I wait and upload little by little, although I did do some uploading this week during my lunch break for the pen swatch, but other than that, I usually do everything same day. Anyway, this was a great day. As always, let me know if you have any questions or concerns in the comments, and I will see you next time. Next week, hopefully, we'll be at Bomb Cohen, or who knows where we'll be. But I know where I'll be, right here. See ya.